Hello everybody, Dylan here today, and today we are doing a video called Death Battle is Stupid. And if you want to find out, stay tuned today on DHT.
You know me, the fighting freak Knuckles, and we're at Pumpkin Hill. You ready? I ain't gonna let it get to me, I'm just gonna creep down at Pumpkin Hill. I got to find my lost piece.
Now, because this YouTube series is so stupid, so ridiculous, and never bother to even check their facts, I'm only going to use two examples. But because I'm using these two examples in the way I'm using them, this video is going to be a two-parter. First part is going to be Donkey Kong versus Knuckles. Second part is going to be Superman versus Goku. So we're going to talk about today Donkey Kong versus Knuckles. Now just stay tuned because there's a lot to this and it's going to take me a while to explain why Donkey Kong should have been obliterated by Knuckles. Now, one of the most major problems that they did was that they didn't establish which Knuckles they were using. They used cartoon Knuckles from Sonic X. They used Knuckles from Sonic Boom, and the game's Knuckles. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the video game's Knuckles, and then I'm going to use the comic book Knuckles. And I'm going to point out each one of their attributes and tell you why they should have destroyed Donkey Kong. So let's start with the games first of all, because that's the Knuckles everyone tends to know. So let's point out some ridiculous things he's done in the video games. Let's start off in his introduction in Sonic 3. Now this is something Death Battle shows in their video, but doesn't bother to point out. Knuckles in base form is able to punch out Super Sonic. Now in case you didn't realize, Death Battle says this theirself, Super Sonic has a 1000 power increase, atomic flight, unlimited stamina, and is invincible. Now, I don't know if they know this, but invincible is pretty fucking hard to be knocked out of, and Knuckles did it like it was nothing. Now, I credit this to his ability to tap into the Chaos Emeralds. He might have been able to just cancel out their magic and punch Sonic straight out of the super form. But either way, this is a very impressive feat that just gets overlooked by Death Battle. They don't even comment on this throughout their whole video. Next thing is that they didn't mention that Knuckles also has his own super form. Turning the Chaos Emeralds into Super Emeralds, Knuckles can turn into Hyper Knuckles. Now Hyper Knuckles moves so ridiculously fast that you can't even see him attacking enemies on the screen. He jumps up and then all the enemies on the screen are destroyed. I wouldn't say this is moving faster than light, but I'm assuming that it's pretty damn fast if 1 second all the enemies can be there, a flash of light happens and then they're all dead. This could seemingly be him moving so fast that we literally couldn't see him at all. Oh yeah, not to mention that while he's in his hyper form, he can do a move called the Gliding Shockwave. Now the Gliding Shockwave is where Knuckles does his normal glide into a wall, but the magnitude of him slamming into that wall is so tremendous that all the enemies die due to the earthquake caused. Now, this is ridiculous. No matter how strong Donkey Kong has been, he's never been able to wipe out everything on the screen in one punch. This is like ridiculous. He is one punch Knuckles. He will destroy you. To even say that Donkey Kong is anywhere near his power is a great underestimation of Knuckles. Not to mention that it says in the official Sonic sources that I dug through that when you're in your hyper form, your power doubles multiple times over than the super form. So it's 1000 times whatever. So that means that his power has increased way further than a Super Sonic or Super Shadow. And in Death Battle's own Vegeta vs. Shadow, they said Vegeta only survived because he was able to outlast Super Shadow. Now, here's the thing. The rings drain faster in the hyper form, but he can obliterate Donkey Kong so fast that it wouldn't even matter in hyper form. Hyper form is the peak of Knuckles' existence in the video games. Nothing gets stronger than this in the video games. And his strength is ridiculous. His speed is somewhat unmeasurable. How could you say that Hyper Knuckles could not destroy Donkey Kong in a second? But that's enough for video game Knuckles. He only used this power in one game, so let's point out comic book Knuckles and how ridiculously he could beat Donkey Kong. Now, in the comics, he can do everything I listed that the video game counterpart can do, but he can take that a step up. Now, you're wondering, how can he take that up? What would happen? How can he do this? Well, he has an evolution called Chaos Knuckles. Now, Chaos Knuckles is a form of Knuckles that no one could ever handle. He's destroyed literal gods with this power. Now, Chaos Knuckles turns his body completely green, virtually indestructible, and he becomes a living Chaos Emerald with unlimited energy. Now, he has infinite energy. I'm gonna quote them in one of their videos. What is half of infinity? In-fucking-finity. So that means that with infinite power and the chaos energy radiating off of his body that can literally reboot universes, you're gonna tell me that Donkey Kong has the ability to stand up to him. Donkey Kong somehow has in his arsenal something that is stronger than all of the chaos energy combined. He has something that is stronger, the being that could beat Mario in your death battle, the being that could almost beat Vegeta in your death battle. You're saying that that power increased by at least 10,000 fold is somehow comparable to Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is outranked on a whole nother scale. Chaos Knuckles is the beast of the Sonic universe. He is possibly the strongest thing in the Sonic universe when he used this form. The reason why he never used it again is 1, the universe reboot, and 2, this form is so affecting, it will slowly destroy him if he stays in this form. That's how powerful it is. He could turn into pure energy just by being in this form. Now you're telling me, death battle, Donkey Kong can fight the living essence of a Chaos Emerald, the thing that has made Sonic OP for years? I say no. The fact that you didn't look into this makes it look like you're really dumb. Now, I'll give you this. If Donkey Kong fought the Knuckles from Sonic X or the Knuckles from Sonic Boom, he might have a chance of winning. He probably has a really good chance of winning. But here's the thing. These Knuckles are the weakest Knuckles around. The video game Knuckles is not even comparable to these other Knuckles. The TV Knuckles are always weaker than their video game and comic book counterpart. So this has been Death Battle is Stupid Part 1. I pointed out everything that was wrong with their Donkey Kong versus Knuckles fight, all the way from them pulling sources from TV shows, from them really overlooking basic abilities of Knuckles, to them overlooking the fact that he can turn into a literal Chaos Emerald. So, stick around for part 2, which will be out soon, talking about how wrong Goku vs. Superman is. This has been Dylan from DHT Games, Comics, Theories, and more. If you like this video, you can like it. If you really liked it, you can share it. And if you love the page, you can subscribe. Bye, you guys.